Q, so that inserts the element at the rear of the Q. A DQ removes the element at the front. The P. So we use this to actually just kind of like look at what's at the front without having to physically remove it. We have an is empty, check to see if Q is empty, it's full, check to see if Q is full, and then clear will basically the same thing as destroying your entire stack. The clear just dumps all the data, but it still empties it in Q order from front to rear. So let's look at the code. So I did, based on Jonathan's input on Monday, saying that maybe, if I use array examples as well as the list, that it will ideally give two different perspectives. So I did two different files here. I did one where we did a Q array, and I did one in a Q linked list. So let's look at the array here. There's a lot of people are more comfortable with that. So here I am defining a constant called max with a value of 50. So I'm saying my Q can only see 50 elements. And so I initialize my integer array to 50. And then I have two helper variables that are going to reference the front and the rear of my Q. So here my main could be using some choices. Insert an element, delete an element, display all the elements, scan in their choice, and do a switch on it. So I have these function calls set up in my case labels. Sorry, that just really bothers me. The reason why I deleted in bold is because in C++, it is a keyword. In C, it is not, but in C++, delete is a keyword because code blocks that C and C++. That's why you'll see this being bolded. Okay, so the insert method. So we're going to add an item to our queue. So here I'm going to check to see if my rear is equal to, so my last guy is equal to max minus 1. So if our max is 50, checking for it to be 49. Why am I checking for it to be 49? What's the value of the first element? 0. Thank you. All right. So if we are maxed out, that means our queue is full, and we can't add anything else. Otherwise, if we're not full, then we're going to go ahead and check. So first of all, if it comes back, our front is a -1, that means that there's nothing in our queue. It's empty, because that's what I initialized it to, right? So if that's the case, let's really take that one here. Okay. So if we're at -1, that means our queue is empty, so our first position is actually going to be 0. So we're going to update our front to be position 0. And then we're going to go ahead and insert that element in the queue. We're going to ask the user to give us that data element. You'll give us the number that we're going to put in our queue. And then we're going to set our rear to rear plus 1, because now we need to make sure that we're tracking the front and the rear now that we have something in our queue. And then we're going to go ahead and do our array at position rear. Because remember, we add it to the rear, not the front. And then we're going to add that item, put that data element into that array. So what we've just done here, visually, is we've just pushed the into a node to the rear, or to the back. Does that make sense? Okay. So our delete function, again, we're going to do some checks. So if our front is -1 or our front is greater than our rear, then we've got a problem. So we don't want to go ahead and delete because there's nothing there to delete or it's corrupted. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we are going to delete this element from our array at the front. Okay, so then we do our front is equal to front plus 1. Because in front of 0, now the front is actually the next element in the array, position 1. So here's our display. Then we're going to check to see if our Q is even empty, because if it is, then there's no point in doing anything. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and loop through our array, and we are going to print out each value that's in there. So when we actually run this, so right now, if I do a display, so option 3, there's nothing there. A Q is empty, right? So we're going to go ahead and insert an element in Q. We're going to NQ a value, and NQ23. Do my display. There's just the one guy there, so that's fine. Now we're going to NQ another value, 34. Do my display. And see, this is the front, and this guy got NQ'd at the back right here. So from an array perspective, you're starting at position 0, and then you're just going increasing your array index for every value we're adding to it. Does that make sense? Maybe. No, they don't have to go. Again, it's just to present the information. Present some of these examples on that for programming sessions. They're more for providing the implementation. So we're going to queue up one more guy here. Add another one. Okay, so I now have 7 elements in my queue, and they are in this order, starting from 0 going to 6. So now, if I want to start dequeuing, you see that it doesn't ask me what number to dequeue, it just dequeues. So you see now the 23 is gone. So just like with the stack, when we are pushing stuff on there, it is pushing it down. And it asks, what value we're going to put on the stack. But when we pop something off of it, it didn't ask us what you wanted to pop off of it, because you don't have a choice. It has to be that top element that's on the stack. With the queue, we don't have a choice. We have to remove the first element from the front. So we don't get an option, not with like linked lists where you can remove whatever you want because you can find it and then update your pointer. So in this case, we don't have that option. So again, when I do another DQ, it takes off to 34. Do another DQ, it takes off to 56. So you see, it's just like being in a line. The people are just, okay, I'm back, and I'm out of here. I'm back, I'm out of here. And so, I mean, how pissed do you guys get when somebody actually jumps line? You're like, hey, you're waiting at the bar, you've been waiting 10 minutes to get a beer, and somebody thinks they're going to muscle in there and get in front of you. I mean, that's cause for a fight, isn't it? Throw somebody down for that shit. Okay, so from an array perspective, does this make sense to you? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You're right. In theory, that the array element 0 is still there. How we force the queuing is to keep updating our front so it no longer is easy. It moves it to 1, and then it moves it to 2, and then it moves it to 3. Yeah. Any other questions about the array version? Okay, so let's look at this. It's a little more complicated. Let's look at a linked list. So again, you guys actually probably already did this. You did this in your assignment 1 when I asked you to create a linked list. And if you added each node to the end of your linked list, you basically were creating a queue. Okay, so think about how you did that when you're adding guys to the end. So in this case, we're just going to create a node. It has its two pieces. It has its data part and it has its linkage part. And then again, that programming practice, but here's some global variables. We have the front, the rear, temp, and the front one. And so here our functions are front element. So just tell us who's on the front. Here's our function NQ, a function PQ, and then an empty, a display, and a create. And two sides. Here I just have some variables in my function name, so I can use it to manipulate the application. So I'll create guys and just initialize it our linked list. And now we have a linked list again, so we have to make sure that our references to our head, and in this case we have a head and a reader. So there's multiple units like the null to make sure that there's no hokey data hanging out there. Two sides is just going to print out the global variable count. Our NQ is going to be responsible for pushing those nodes onto the rear. So here we get our data. First we check to see if it's null, because if it's null, then we know that we can just set them equal to each other, because there's only one node in our queue. So here we now look at our memory, and then we set our rear pointer. So again, think about when you're at the end of a linked list, that pointer has to be null. Why does the pointer at the end of the linked list have to be null? Say again? Yes, we know when we're done. We know that we found the end of the list. And then we set our data for our info. And in this case, you can set our front and our rear at the same values, just like index 0 of the array. The first time you put something in that queue from an array perspective, both the front and the rear are looking at the same values, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're saying that they're both the same. That's it. Because I can't do it. There's no value to it. I mean, yeah, that's really negative. Thank you. Thanks for telling me I'm done. I got it. All right, so here, otherwise our queue is not empty, and so we need to make sure that we put the new node at the rear so that we don't mess up our queue. So here we have our temp, and our temp, we're going to do our memory, and we're going to set rear sub pointer to temp, because that's putting it at the back end. Remember, if it's the guy right now, it's null, right? And so we need to update the rear to add this guy to the back end. So just like you did when you were building your linked list, and you were doing it sequentially, and every time you got a new node, you add it to the bottom. It's doing the exact same thing here, okay? And then here I set my data, and then again my temp pointer sub null, temp pointer is going to be null, because he's at the back end, he's at the rear, so he needs to be pointing to null. And then we're going to update a reference to the rear to equal temp. And so what we're doing is, here, we're enqueuing this guy. So his pointer needs to be null. But then we want to add him to the back. Right now, back is this dude. So once we get the new guy pointing to the back that says, hey, this is the next guy in line, then you can move your back to here. And so programmatically, that's what we're doing here. So first we're going to update that pointer and say, hey, I have another guy behind me. So it forces him to look here and go, look, there's another guy here, so let's add to him. Kind of like a Congo line, you know? When people everybody latches onto the back end. Alright, and then here, I set my data, make sure that he is null, because he's going to be the last guy right here. And then finally, I'm going to set my rear reference to the temp, because I want this now to be in this image here back. I want this guy to be the back. I want this guy to be the rear. So I have to update that. So after I've got the linkage done correctly, then I can update it and move my pointer for the rear of my piece. Does that make sense? Maybe? Okay. So a display is just a display. Whatever. We've got the display down on that one. Okay, so here when we're DQing, so now we're going to actually take this guy off of the front. Okay, so right now this is the guy that's on the front. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to use our helper pointer front 1 to help us work through this because we have to have two references, one for the guy you're popping off from there and one for the guy that is going to be the lead front. So here it doesn't see the front of doing the null because of this, and we have nothing on our cube, so there's no point in trying to do anything. So if my front pointer is not equal to null, why would I check to see if my front pointer is not equal to null? What is that? If that comes back true, if my front pointer is not equal to null, what does that tell you about your cube? Know what? Well, we've already gotten here the entire cube not null. So this says the Q is empty. So this means our Q is not empty. If our Q is not empty, then we're checking to see if the pointer of that node is not equal to null. So how many nodes are in my Q if it's not equal to null? At least two. Yes. Because when there's only one, so if it's not empty, there's at least one guy on there. But if there's only one guy on here, his pointer is going to be null, right? Because he's the end of the queue. So now we have to check to see if this is saying, is there more than one node on the queue? That's what we're looking for. Because it's going to change our implementation. If there's only one node on the queue, once we DQ that guy, then we're just done. And we don't have to worry about resetting anything. Otherwise, see right here. So this is, there is only one node on the queue. So the queue is empty. That node is null. So that makes sense? That if the pointer of my front node is null, then there's only one node. You guys tracking? Okay, so if there is more than one node, then we have to deal with moving our pointers. Otherwise, if there's only one node, we can just free the memory and null everything out and we're done. In this case, we have to move our pointers. So if we're going to DQ this guy right here, and he's currently front, then I need to move my pointer for front to be here, just like with the array. So the way we dealt with the array version, like Jason said, was we're just updating the index value that references the array. So 0 technically was still there, but we were making it inaccessible by saying that my front value is now 1. And then we DQ'd the value at 1, and so we added one more. We said, no, the front of my array is at index 2. So yes, it was still there twice. Well, when you're doing linked list data for queue purposes, you actually are doing the free on the memory, so that guy is not going to be there anymore. He's literally going to be gone. So you really do have to make sure you do this correctly. So here when we DQ, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our front equal to our front pointer. That means that my front was looking here, and now I'm going to set it to here. I'm moving that pointer to the next node in our queue. And then I come down here and I free my memory, and I reset my actual front guy. I'm using the front one as a helper to be able to do that data. And then here I use my front, and I now set it to to the beginning of what I just EQ'd. So now my sponge is here. So if we go ahead and run this, if I do my display, there's nothing on our Q. I do a 1, enter some data. 1. Do my display again. Okay, so you see my cube, the guy at the front is 1 and the guy at the back is 5. Now when I select the option to EQ, I don't get a choice because it's going to be that value 1 is what got taken off. So see now I just have 2, 3, 4, 5. EQ again. Oh, that tells me my front element. Sorry, one option. So this one function tells you what the front element is, and it came back with a 2. I want to EQ. So now when I do the 6, you can see my 2 is gone. EQ again. My 3 is gone, and then I'm going to do the same thing to get them all off of it. So dealing with linked lists, we can still we can force implementation of a stack and a queue. And so I'm trying to talk a little more about this, to also look at recursive, doing the recursive implementation and how that gets stacked on top of each other and how we actually get there. They're not numerical. It's not what kind of so like an array, you can have
It doesn't get added.